Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your girl JoJo, and I'm here with the review for Ready to Love. This is season 2. I can't remember if it's episode 9 or 10, but y'all know I'll have it right below. Yes, it is Monday, so I don't even have to tell you all how the weekend went. You already know. If I'm doing it on Monday, okay, all right. So anyway, I'm a little congested again because it's warm in Houston, and so when it gets warm like this, I get really stuffy because it's too much back and forth for me. So excuse all of this that you might hear in the video, but let's get to what happened on the show. Okay, so we pick up where we left off with London and Brent out there like they about to get into something. Ain't nobody about to get into nothing. Brent actually does step back and allow London to talk to Alexis, but he just says, "Don't disrespect me, bruh," and goes on about his way. London is still trying to talk to Alexis about the journey and the connection, and I don't want you to think we don't have this connection. Alexis cut him off. Thank you, but no thank you. I'm going to bed. I don't want to hear any more of this. So she goes on to bed, and she actually goes to bed with Brent. Okay, her and Brent sleep in the same bed. We don't hear if anything went on, but we know they slept in the same bed. But we actually found that out at dinner. But just know that they slept in the bed, okay? And London is now in his feelings. I'm trying to keep from sneezing, y'all. So they get back to Atlanta. And Reva shows up for a lunch date with Mario. She was Easter fresh, wasn't she? She was looking good in that like light pink color. Girl, you look good. But anyway, she got her long wig on again, and I was deflated because I like you with the short hair, Reva. Why didn't you wear your short wig? I like that. But Reva self-eliminates, okay, tells Mario, this thing between us feels forced. It doesn't feel real. I don't really feel like you have the same feelings towards me that you have towards Tandy, so I'm going to go ahead and eliminate myself. There's no need to force anything. I don't want to waste my time. I don't want to waste your time. Reva says that she is not here for the shenanigans, and I'm not here for the shenanigans either, girl. And I thought Mario would take it well, but then I was confused at what Mario was trying to do after she eliminated herself. Reva, you never told me you felt like that. Come on, Reva. It was forced. You felt like that. Come on, let me hold your hand. You know I love to hold your hand. And he kind of staring her in her eyes. I was just like, now, I've never felt like he really had too much for Reva. The most chemistry I saw between them was when they was at the pool and the legs was wrapped. But that was more sexual than anything. So I'm just like, what are you trying to do, bruh? Like, what is it? Don't try to confuse this woman if she's already made a decision that you couldn't make. Let her go on about her business. So, Reva, you were right to do what you need to do, girl. I don't know what kind of game Mario was trying to play at the end. Y'all let me know what y'all thought about that. Was it weird to you? Then we move on to a group dinner that nephew Tommy is having because he wants to see how the cabin trip went. And Alexis shows up in her sexy, sparkly New Year's Eve skirt that she wore to make London jealous. That's her words, not mine. And they're all sitting down at dinner. So tell me about what happened at the cabin. Well, Darren and Ashima feel like they're good. They're in a good place. Ashima says she was in her feelings a little bit. Okay, she had her feelings mixed with alcohol. She got a little, topsy turvy or what have you. But Darren says she took full accountability for everything that went on, and that's all I wanted. And I wanted to tell Darren to practice what he preaches, but we're gonna talk about Darren and Ashima in just a moment. I'll hold that nugget for later. The main thing that we need to talk about with the cabin trip, okay, Mario and Tandy are in a better place, now that Reva's self-eliminated, he's got more time to fully focus on Tandy. I said, okay, Mario, whatever. I wanted you to tell nephew Tommy how you was looking in her eyes and darn near asking her if she really wanted to leave, but yeah, okay, all right. We really need to talk about the love triangle between London, Alexis, and then Brent is somewhere over here, but it's really London, Alexis, and Divine. So Alexis pretty much tells us that she learned that London was not who she thought he was, that London was trying to straddle the fence. He was playing both sides. There are certain things that he said about Divine. He said things like she makes it too easy for him, which London denies. And he has made it seem like he is completely interested in me and that I am the one. London tells her, I never made you the one. I never told you that you were the one. Really? You never told me that? Do you want to air it out? And London says, yes, air it out. If I said that, tell me when I said that. Well, it's not really that London said that per se, but he was given certain words of affirmation. I said, uh-oh, girl, is that your love language now? Because that's mine too. At least I think it is. I got to take the test again. Y'all take the love language test. But you were out giving certain words of affirmation that I was your top pick and I was your top choice. And London was like, you can give words, but I never told you that you were my top pick. So these two are going back and forth, and Divine is just kind of sitting there. And the whole scene made me uncomfortable because it makes it look like these two are having like this lover spat, and then there's like the side woman sitting over there. Although, of course, that's not what it is per se. That is what it felt like to me watching Divine just sit there and have them go back and forth while also speaking on her and things that London may have said or not have said about her. So the whole thing made me kind of uncomfortable, and I'm so sorry, y'all. I will expound upon that a little bit later in the video. So because Brent slept in Alexis's room, London says that is a complete deal breaker for him. Why, London? How is it a deal breaker for you now? Okay, these men are really, really funny when it comes to this process, because even Mario says, man, Alexis on that BS trying to call London out when she was talking to Carrie and she was talking to Brent, then she was talking to London, and then she was talking. I was just like, how is it any different from you staring Reva in her eyes, not just however many minutes ago, saying that it wasn't forcing? You didn't know she felt that way. You know, you trying to give her the look and want her to stay and want her to be there, even though you say you got this stronger connection with Tandy. How is it any different than the way that some of y'all have moved when it comes to this show? Or somehow some of y'all have moved in your dating life, period. How is it any different? Her dating multiple people, her trying to figure out what's going on with multiple people. Let me know how it's different. I'll wait. Now, and it's a competition. Like, everybody's supposed to be doing that, not just y'all. Everybody's supposed to be playing it that way. And y'all will say that when it comes to yourself, but when it comes to them, they supposed to just focus on you. Like, that doesn't make, it's a dating competition. It works both ways. Trying to get my nose together. All right. So when Divine does get a chance to speak, she does say that she was really confused about what happened at the cabin, and she is kind of starting to see London in a different type of light, and she's not really sure what to think about him. London feels like his connection with Divine was weakened when he was going to play these games and chase after Alexis. He wasn't able to spend that time with her, and in this process, Divine has been his rock, okay, his stability. And I'll just go ahead and insert this here. I don't like the way that London keeps referring to Divine as his rock and his ride or die, and she stood solid and say, did I say solid? She stood solid and stable, because those kind of words always get my hairs on end, because I know that they're meant to be a form of a compliment. However, historically, okay, in the cultural speak, when we hear ride or die and when we hear rock and stability and she stood solid, we tend to think of women who put up with a lot of things, a lot of maybe infidelity or a lot of disrespect or just a lot of confusion and craziness, and they still stuck around because they knew that in the end they would get the prize. And the prize was, in this case anyway, the prize is London. And I just didn't like the way that he kept speaking about Divine in that manner. Oh, I'm so congested. I cannot stand how I sound. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm tempted to start the whole video over. Okay. But I didn't like the way that he spoke about Divine in that manner. And I hope Divine realizes that she's kind of being spoken about as a woman who is going to stick around even though he continues to mess up. Are y'all getting that feel? Y'all let me know. All right. So London says that he learned a long time ago that you shouldn't argue with an irrational person. So he's not going to keep going back and forth with Alexis. Okay, it's done. You know, I'm not worried about it. And I was just like, you're not going to keep going back and forth because you don't want your tea spilled. It don't have nothing to do with her being irrational. So then we move on. Oh my gosh, y'all. Hold on. And then, I'm sorry. I can't edit, so I got to turn my whole back to y'all just to wipe my nose. But I keep my sanitizer beside me. I don't want y'all to think I'm being nasty. All right. So later, Darren and Ashima, they go off to the gym. Okay, Darren wants to see if he can get, Ashima in the gym, get her working out, even though normally she's against it. And Ashima comes and she looks cute. She don't really look ready to work out. She got on like a jersey or whatever, trying to keep them big old titties she got strapped down. But she goes in there, she does some squats, and I thought it was cool the way Darren referred to the weight as like a wine goblet, and that she related to that just fine. And she did her squats, she did her lunges, all of that, and then they sat down to talk. And Darren just wants to make it clear to Ashima that when you have an issue, I want you to feel like you can come to me with the issue, but if I tell you something, I want you to trust that's what it is. And Ashima was just like, well, I can't always do that. He was like, see, that sounds like trust issues to me. You got trust issues. And Ashima was just like, no, don't call it trust issues. I don't have trust issues. But Darren just wants Ashima to realize that if they're going to have a relationship, if things are going to work in the future, they have to be able to talk about things and communicate about things without it being a whole bunch of extra. Ashima apologizes and says that, she's from the country. Sometimes she does get loud. Sometimes she does do extra. And if you are doing something that she doesn't care for, you will get Miss Franklin to come out. But blame her mama for that, okay? That she loud and country. She can't help that. I am too, girl. But I know a lot of people were feeling like Darren was like this horrible guy and felt like Darren was very dismissive of Ashima's feelings. And some people even felt like he would try to control her. I don't know if I would take it that far. And I know some of y'all are going to disagree with me. I'm in a relationship with a person who does not argue. Okay, that's not their speaking style. They don't get really excited. They don't want to keep going back and forth. If y'all disagree about something, you disagree. But definitely in conversations, like all that yelling and aggressiveness, that does not work in the relationship that I'm in. And sometimes even when we do have disagreements, I have to remind myself, like, okay, like, what you about to do, the way you about to turn up, that's going to make sure that the whole conversation is just over. Like my niece, like I tell my niece when she start whining, use your words. Okay, use your words. And I have to remind myself that too when we're having a conversation, because we get more done when we're both talking like this than where I can sometimes go with the child. Y'all didn't want to see, man, back in college, oh my gosh, I used to get into it. I used to talk to this dude, child. We used to argue all the time. And I mean, we were infamous for showing out, okay, in a parking lot. Like, it wasn't never, you wasn't hitting each other or nothing, but you're talking about loud and enamored and a whole bunch of passion and yelling and crying. But I grew up. And I'm a grown woman now, and I don't handle things in that same manner. What I instead wish Ashima would have said, because Darren does still need to be called to the carpet. He's acting like he hasn't done anything wrong. And I believe that is the problem that people are having with Darren. Not so much that he is dismissive, but he's dismissive of the things that he has also done, but he is highlighting the things that she has done. So I think that is my problem with Darren. He doesn't dismiss Ashima, but he is dismissing his own faults. And Ashima, what I wanted Ashima to say was, I don't really have trust issues per se, but I do have a problem with the person that doesn't provide clarity. So if I have a trust issue, then you have a clarity problem, because there are times where you try to do things and you don't necessarily let me know what it really is that you're doing. When you went out with Tani, you weren't planning on letting me know that. You let me find out. When there was a situation with the dogs and I didn't care for the dogs, that's when you all of a sudden were interested in going out on other dates. You didn't let me know that you were very uncomfortable with the fact that I didn't like your dogs. So you need to provide clarity if you want me to provide a relationship where I speak to you in this tone instead of my other tone. Don't make me go there, and then we'll be just fine. That is what I wanted Ashima to say, but I think Ashima got to sit down and kind of sort out her feelings. I think she really wants to have this thing with Darren, and so yeah, don't count, don't be so eager to be with this man that you don't address the issues, because there's a way to do it. The way that she did it at the cabin, I actually didn't agree with, because I did feel like she was kind of, I don't know, maybe because she was drinking, I felt like her argument wasn't necessarily presenting itself in the right way. But the way she was talking at the gym, that was the time to bring that up, because she was good and calm. So yeah, that's how I felt about it. But y'all let me know what you think about Ashima and Darren, because I'm sure we not all on the same page, and that's fine. Let me know what you think. This is embarrassing. I'm sorry, y'all. So then we got London and Divine going out to dinner, and this whole scene was uncomfortable. I already let y'all know that I don't like London speaking about Divine in the way that he does, calling her the rock, and you stood solid, and you was 100, and you was my ride or die. I've already told you that makes me uncomfortable. But when he talks to Divine, he says, I'm surprised you're still talking to me, which is another sign of what he does think about her. He does kind of look at her as a ride or die for real now. And he assures Divine that everything is okay with them. He's no longer interested in Alexis, which is really by default, if you ask me. I'm no longer interested in Alexis. I really want to put my focus and my energy into you. I feel like we could really have something. We really do connect. You know, the connection, the journey, all of that. He realizes he needs to do damage control, his words, not mine, when it comes to Divine. And so he's going to work on doing that. And Divine, that's enough for her. If she feels reassured, she feels like she's getting another layer of London. She feels like she can trust his word and feels like it's going to be them on this journey together. I just don't know why she sees that, because the rest of us don't. I do not believe. I think that London likes Divine enough, but there's no chase with Divine like he had with Alexis. And because he is the type of male that he is, he enjoys that chase. And I think he will continue to chase. I don't see it with him and Divine. Y'all can let me know what y'all think about that, but I just really, really don't see it. Let's see. Oh, I thought it was funny when Divine told London he trying to move in for a kiss and she not gonna give him a kiss yet. I said, but you kissed Brent though. But Brent, I will say, Brent was up on her strong, real strong. I probably, my knees would have been weak as well. It was, feet rubbing going on. Child, don't touch my feet. Don't be touching all over my feet. All right. Alexis and Brent meet together to talk about their connection and how they're feeling each other. Okay, Brent was second choice, but you're not second choice no more, baby. I gotta make sure he knows that he is now first choice. I am completely done with London. He showed me a different side of him, and I thought it was interesting for Alexis to be completely done with London and London to be completely done with Alexis. Both of them still talking about each other just a little bit too much while they're out on a date with somebody else. But I guess this is just their effort to reassure the other person that they want them. Okay, fine, whatever. But now Alexis says that all eyes are on Brent, and Brent says all eyes are on Alexis. That is who he wants. All right. So, okay. Tandy and Mario, they go on a date. They go do some pottery type stuff. He gives her this clay ring that he bought at the store, and Tandy just thought it was so beautiful. And she was never really worried about Riva because she was no competition. She knew, I guess, that Mario was more interested in her. And it was a cute enough date. It seems like people do like them together, and I guess it's okay. When I found out that Mario was an actor, that did kind of give me pause, because I'm wondering if both of them just are doing this so they can continue to pursue their acting careers. But we have that happen all the time. But yeah, they have a cute little conversation about how they're going to focus on each other, this, that, and the third. Same with them. Later on, they meet together again because they have to decide who's about to get eliminated. I can't breathe. I'm so nasally. I'm so sorry for this, y'all. Again, I've apologized like 5 times. Darren's dad had a heart attack, so he was not able to make it. But Ashima says that Darren and his dad are really close, so we will keep them in our prayers. I'm sure that moment has passed. Does anybody know the updates? Was his dad okay? I'm gonna have to look that up when I get off of here. So Divine, hold on, let me look at my notes again. Child, let's just cut straight to what everybody think. I ain't got time to be going. All right, so when it comes to the men, who should be on the chopping block, y'all? Well, the Mario says that Brent should be on the chopping block, and London says that Brent and Alexis also should be on the chopping block. Of course, they should be. I can't remember. Oh, Darren wasn't there, so he didn't get a say. But Brent feels like he is being singled out by the two guys because they're cool with each other, they're friends, and they kind of talk and they think the same. Mario just feels like their connection is not as strong because they just got connected. Now, all of a sudden, she's saying she like bruh, but just last week it was somebody else, and just a week before it was somebody else. So how can we really trust what Alexis says? Now, over there in the room with the women, they're having a conversation, and Ashima says that if she had to call it with somebody, it's going to have to be London. London needs to go because London is not really all that serious. London is playing games. Divine doesn't believe that London is playing games, and since she closed the door on the situation with her and Brent, I said, you didn't close the door, baby. Brent closed that door. She's seen a different side of London. London has let her know that she's the one that he wants to be with, and she believes him. And Ashima's just like, okay, girl, but I'm just saying, it looks like he's still trying to play the game. Ashima, we here. And this is when Alexis takes the time to pretty much air it out that he's been playing games this entire time. He has told me that you make stuff easy for him and you like a ride or die for him. He can easily have you. And he really wanted more of me because he liked spending time with me. He liked being with me. He also said that you had children and he really didn't want to be with a woman who had children. And when I asked him all these questions and asked him to prove that he had said that you were the one he would want to be with, he called you on three-way. And I heard you all having a conversation, and you admitted that you knew that he hadn't chose yet, but you told me that he said that you were the one. And so basically you lied. So now we kind of get to see why Alexis has been having this kind of issue with Divine, because under lying, she felt like Divine had lied to her. But when we see the playback, Divine actually did not lie. London did say that. So what I believe happened is that when London called on three-way, he worded the question a certain kind of way so that Divine would answer the way that he wanted. Okay, it's a difference between saying, hey, when we talked that day at your house, did you tell somebody that I said that I was choosing you or that you were the one? Or did he call and say, hey, we've been talking and, you're aware that I haven't made a decision yet, right? Yes, I know that you haven't made a decision yet. So it's ways that you can ask questions to get the answers that you want. But I still believe that London is playing Divine. I don't think he wants Divine like that. I believe that he really wanted to chase Alexis. He didn't even really want her like that. But the fact that Alexis is sitting at that table going on and on to Divine about the things that London was saying, the things that London was doing, and he doesn't even want you like that, boo-boo. He ain't even trying to be with you like that. And Divine, okay, the whole time, y'all, Divine is like this. Okay, she did not let Alexis ruffle her feathers at all. Divine was just like, baby, you fell back with Brent. Brent is your fallback guy. You were not even trying to deal with Brent before I was trying to deal with Brent. And when I closed the door, I said, again, girl, you ain't closed the door, but okay. When the door was closed on that, that's when you decided that you wanted to be with him, girl. You do not like him like that. You really wanted London, and now London wants me, and you're upset about it. And Alexis is like, I am not upset, boo-boo. I do not want him. I do not care about him. I was just like, nah, girl, you said you got these feelings for Brent. Focus on... Sorry, y'all. I thought I needed to turn my car off, but I'm going to just leave it on. Focus on Brent. Like, why are you carrying on and on about this whole thing with London? And then for you to bring up this three-way call, you've been holding that in your back pocket for weeks, okay? Because this happened some time ago. But then y'all laugh when Divine said 3 weeks ago you couldn't even pronounce Brent's name. But now all of a sudden y'all got a connection. I said, that is a good point now. That is a good point. You didn't even know my name 3 weeks ago. You didn't even respect me enough to learn it. So, yeah, y'all. And Brent says that Alexis was always in his top, but apparently you were not always in hers. But yeah, that whole argument was interesting. In the end, you guys, I just feel like this. Ashima and Darren have several hurdles they're going to have to cross if they're going to have a successful relationship. It's not just the dogs, it's also the way that Darren wants people to take accountability, but he doesn't always do the same. So they need to work that out. Mario and Tandy, I think they're going to be fine. Alexis and Brent, I don't know. They seem to have a lot in common. Brent does seem to really like her, but Alexis to me still has this thing with London. I think both of them like the chase. Like both of them wants to be each other's pick, and they just keep having these lovers quarrels back and forth with each other. They just can't believe that one wouldn't pick the other. I'm just like, child, this is a mess. I think that Divine and London, I just don't see it. I think that London is still very much playing games with Divine, and I think he only wants to deal with Divine because Divine is around and he knows that she'll be there. So why not? I'll just go ahead and pick her. In this situation with these four, Alexis has Brent as a default, London has Divine as a default, and I think Divine and Brent should wise up and just choose each other and just leave them to continue to argue about stuff that don't make no sense. But y'all let me know what y'all thought about the episode. The whole argument at the end was funny. Divine kept her cool the entire time, which was hilarious. And then, this is how you know Alexis is young and silly. Divine said, now it's time to take the boxing gloves off, in regards to the process. And Alexis is like, oh, so you want to fight? I want all the smoke. I want it. And Divine is looking at her like, girl, I don't fight. That's not even my personality. I'm talking about in regards to the process, you silly child. Oh, child, it was hilarious. But Alexis don't want nobody but herself. But yeah, y'all, like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know what you thought. I know this is all over the place, and forgive all of my sinus issues. Y'all have a good day. Bye.